Your journey is yours alone, and you don't need anyone's permission to take the next step. Walk away quietly and let your absence speak louder than words. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. But let me make one thing clear. Walking away doesn't mean you're running from a fight. No, walking away is choosing your battles. It's knowing when to stop swinging at an opponent who doesn't even deserve to be in the same ring as you. It's recognizing when the ground you're standing on is sinking sand, not solid rock. It's the wisdom to say, this isn't worth me anymore. And let me tell you, kid, there's no shame in that. Too many people stay where they're not valued. They stay out of obligation, fear, or worse, hope. Hope that things will change. Hope that someone will finally wake up and see them, appreciate them, love them the way they deserve. But hope, as beautiful as it sounds, can be a poison when it chains you to something that's already dead. Don't wait for someone to realize your worth. You're not a secondhand treasure waiting for validation. You are the damn prize. And if they can't see that, let them stay blind. Because the truth is, some people will never appreciate you, no matter how much you give, no matter how hard you try. You could pour your soul into someone, and they'd still act like it's not enough. And that's not on you, that's on them. When you walk away, you're not just leaving them behind. You're leaving behind their doubts, their excuses, their half-hearted attempts to keep you in their orbit without ever truly holding on. You're leaving behind every time they made you feel like you were hard to love, and with every step, you're reclaiming the parts of yourself they tried to break. But don't just walk away physically. Walk away mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Cut the invisible threads they've tied to your heart. Delete the what-ifs, burn the bridges of maybes, and crush the chains of what could have been. Because none of that matters anymore. What matters is what you're walking towards. And what you're walking towards is freedom. Freedom from the weight of their expectations. Freedom from the endless loop of disappointment. Freedom to breathe again, to laugh again, to be again. Let me tell you a story. There was once a person who gave everything, time, love, energy, patience, to someone who only took and never gave back. They stayed, hoping things would get better. They sacrificed pieces of themselves, thinking it would save the relationship. And do you know what happened? They woke up one day and realized they had nothing left. They had given so much of themselves away that they didn't recognize their own reflection anymore. That person could have stayed, kept hoping, kept sacrificing, but instead, they made a choice. They stood up, took one last look, and walked away, quietly. No screaming, no accusations, no goodbye speech, just silence. And do you know what happened? They found themselves again. They rebuilt what was broken, reclaimed what was lost, and became something stronger than they ever imagined. That person, that can be you, if you have the courage to walk away. Because courage isn't about standing in the fire and letting it consume you. Courage is walking out of the flames and leaving behind what no longer serves you. It's saying, I deserve better, even when the world tries to convince you otherwise. And make no mistake, the world will try. It will tell you to stay, to endure, to keep fighting for people who wouldn't lift a finger for you. It will guilt you into thinking that walking away is selfish. But listen to me, walking away isn't selfish. It's survival. You owe it to yourself to choose peace over chaos, to choose yourself over those who've proven they'll never choose you. Life's too short to waste it on people who drain your soul instead of filling it. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. When you leave quietly, you send a message that's louder than any words ever could be. You're telling them, I don't need you to see my worth because I already do. You're showing them that your presence was a gift and they were fools to take it for granted. And here's the kicker. Your absence will haunt them more than your presence ever could. They'll wake up in the middle of the night, reaching for someone who's no longer there. They'll hear your laughter in the silence, feel your warmth in the cold, and they'll realize what they lost. But by then, it'll be too late, because you'll be gone and you won't be coming back. Walking away isn't about revenge, though. It's not about making them suffer. It's about making yourself whole. It's about breaking free from the cycle of pain and choosing a future that's brighter, lighter, and full of possibilities. And let's talk about possibilities for a moment. When you walk away, you open doors you didn't even know existed. You make space for people who will value you, who will see your worth without you having to prove it. You make room for growth, for healing, for happiness. Because happiness isn't found in the approval of others. It's found in the quiet moments when you realize you're finally free. Free from their judgment, their manipulation, their empty promises. Free to live life on your own terms without their shadow looming over you. So walk away, kid. Walk away from the pain, the toxicity, the people who never deserved you in the first place. Walk away from everything that's holding you back, and don't look back. Not because you're afraid of what you'll see, but because what's ahead of you is so much better than anything you're leaving behind. And if you ever doubt yourself, if you ever wonder whether you made the right choice, just remember this: the loudest storms are often followed by the calmest skies. The hardest decisions often lead to the greatest freedom, and the quietest exits often leave the most lasting impact. So let your silence speak. Let your absence echo. Let your actions tell the story of a person who chose themselves over the lies, the betrayals, and the heartbreak. And when they finally understand what they lost, let them sit with that knowledge. Let it be their burden, not yours. Because you'll be too busy building a life worth living, surrounded by people who truly see you, value you, and love you for who you are. Your journey is yours alone, and you don't need anyone's permission to take the next step. Walk away quietly and let your absence speak louder than words, because sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. You see, silence isn't just an absence of sound, it's a declaration. A silent storm that rattles the walls of those who thought you'd always stay. And the beauty of walking away quietly is that it flips the script. They expect anger, expect tears, expect you to beg or plead. But when you give them nothing, that's when they feel it the most. Imagine this. You're in a room filled with noise. Everyone's shouting, arguing, trying to make their voice the loudest. It's chaos. It's overwhelming. But then, someone simply stands up and walks out without a word. What happens? The room shifts. Everyone notices. The absence becomes deafening. And in that moment, the one who left becomes the most significant voice of all. That's the power of walking away quietly. But let's not sugarcoat it. Leaving isn't easy. There will be nights when the silence feels like it's choking you, when you'll question your decision, when every memory will claw at you, begging you to turn back. That's the hardest part. Resisting the urge to return to the familiar, even when you know it's toxic. But let me tell you something. The pain of staying in a place where you're not valued will always outweigh the pain of walking away. You're not leaving because you're weak. You're leaving because you're strong enough to say, "This isn't enough for me." You're walking away because you deserve more than scraps of affection, more than half-hearted apologies, more than the hollow promises of people who never intended to keep them. Think about the stories we tell ourselves. We tell ourselves that people will change, that they didn't mean to hurt us, that if we just try harder, give more, be more, they'll finally see our worth. But here's the truth, kid. Their inability to see your value isn't your failure, it's theirs. And you don't have to set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. The world is full of people who will see you for what you truly are. People who won't make you beg for love, who won't turn your kindness into a weapon against you. But you'll never find them if you stay chained to the ones who drain you. Walking away isn't just an act of leaving, it's an act of faith. Faith that there's something better waiting for you on the other side. Faith that the emptiness you feel now will one day be filled with light. Faith that you are worth more than the pain you've been enduring. You might think, but what if I'm wrong? What if I leave and it doesn't get better? And I won't lie to you, there will be hard days. Days when it feels like the silence is louder than the chaos you left behind. But those days are part of the process. Growth isn't supposed to be easy. It's messy, it's painful, it's raw, but it's worth it. And here's the thing about silence. It forces you to confront yourself. When you're no longer consumed by the noise of others, you start to hear your own voice again. That voice that got buried under the weight of their expectations, their criticisms, their neglect. And that voice, that's the one you need to listen to. Take a moment to picture your life a year from now. Not the life you left behind, but the one you're building. Picture a life where you wake up without the weight of someone else's indifference on your chest. A life where you laugh without wondering if it's too loud, too much, too anything. A life where you're surrounded by people who make you feel seen, heard, and loved without conditions. That life exists, but you'll only find it if you're brave enough to let go of the life that's holding you back. You don't owe anyone an explanation for choosing yourself. You don't owe anyone an apology for walking away from what no longer serves you. And you definitely don't owe anyone the satisfaction of seeing you break. Here's what's going to happen when you walk away. At first, they'll act like they don't care. They'll tell themselves they're better off without you, that you were the problem all along. But then, slowly, the cracks will start to show. They'll realize how much of their strength came from leaning on you. They'll miss the things they took for granted, the way you listened, the way you cared, the way you made them feel like they mattered. And when that realization hits, that's when your absence will speak the loudest. But by then, you'll be long gone. You'll be somewhere they can't reach, somewhere they can't drag you back into their web of lies and manipulation. And that's the goal, to move so far beyond them that their opinion of you doesn't matter anymore. Walking away isn't about revenge, it's about release. It's about setting yourself free from the chains you didn't even realize you were wearing. It's about saying, I deserve better, and actually believing it. And when you finally reach that place of peace, when you look back on the person you used to be, you'll thank yourself for having the courage to walk away. You'll see that every step you took, no matter how painful, brought you closer to the life you were always meant to live. So, keep walking. Keep moving forward. Keep choosing yourself, even when it feels like the hardest thing in the world. Because every step away from them is a step closer to freedom, to healing, to happiness. Walk away quietly and let your absence speak louder than words. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. When you walk away quietly, you're also making a statement about self-respect. It's a declaration that your peace is more important than their chaos. When you choose to walk away from those who don't appreciate you, you're choosing yourself over them. And that, kid, is the hardest decision you'll ever make. But it's the one that will change everything for you. Because once you start choosing yourself, once you make it a habit, you'll never go back. You might find yourself doubting it in the beginning. You might feel lonely, even lost. You'll question your decision when the memories come rushing in. You'll think of all the good moments, the laughter, the love, and you'll wonder if you made the right choice. But let me tell you something about the mind. It's a tricky thing. It has a tendency to romanticize what was never meant to be. It filters out the pain and the hurt, and all you're left with are the shiny fragments of what you wish it had been. But what you need to remember, kid, is that the shine was always just a coating over the cracks. The cracks were there, and they were deep, and no amount of wishing or hoping can make them disappear. I know it's hard to admit, but sometimes love isn't enough, loyalty isn't enough, sacrifice isn't enough. You can give all you have to someone, but if they don't value you, if they don't see your worth, then you're just wasting yourself. Don't be the person who pours their heart into someone who won't even meet you halfway. You deserve more than that. And walking away, quietly, with your head held high, is how you show the world that you believe you deserve more. And I'll tell you something else. The real strength isn't in holding on. The real strength is in letting go. It's easy to stay. It's easy to keep fighting for something that isn't right for you. But it takes guts, courage, and an unshakable belief in yourself to walk away. To look at everything that's holding you down and say, I'm better off without this. It's not about being angry. It's not about making a scene. It's about moving on with grace, with dignity. And if they don't understand that, let them. If they can't comprehend why you're leaving, why you're choosing to walk away without explaining every single reason to them, that's not your problem. Your peace is not up for negotiation. They don't get to dictate your journey. They don't get to determine when or if you should move on. You do. Let me tell you, when you walk away quietly, you don't just leave behind people. You leave behind the versions of yourself that they tried to mold you into. You leave behind all the expectations, all the limitations, all the things you were told you couldn't do, shouldn't do, weren't good enough to do. You shed the skin of their doubt and their manipulation. You shed everything they tried to force onto you, and you walk out into the world as your true self. And that's a freedom that nothing and no one can take away from you. So many people walk through life afraid of disappointing others, afraid of being judged. They're scared to be seen as selfish or cold or ungrateful. But the truth is, there's nothing selfish about choosing yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't give what you don't have. And if you keep pouring yourself into people who only take and never give, eventually you'll drain yourself dry. There will be nothing left for you, nothing left to give. And that's when you'll look in the mirror and wonder who you are, because all the pieces of yourself will have been scattered across people who never valued them in the first place. It's time to stop living for others. It's time to stop caring about who's going to be disappointed, who's going to be hurt. Because those people who make you feel like you owe them your energy, your love, your everything, are not the ones who are going to be there for you when it counts. They're not the ones who will support you when you fall. And you know what? You can't live your life based on their expectations, their needs, or their desires. You have to live for you. You have to be selfish in the best possible way. You have to be selfish enough to walk away from things that no longer serve you. Selfish enough to stop settling for less than you deserve. Selfish enough to protect your heart, your mind, and your soul from those who only know how to take without ever giving back. When you start walking away from things that hurt you, things that diminish your value, you'll start noticing a shift. People around you will start to notice too. Some will try to guilt trip you, make you feel bad for putting yourself first. They'll say, "But I thought we were close," or, "But you can't just leave me like this." And that's when you need to remember, you're not obligated to stay in a relationship that costs you your peace. You're not obligated to maintain any bond that doesn't nurture you, doesn't uplift you, doesn't make you better. If they're not willing to support you when it matters most, they never really cared about you to begin with. The funny thing about walking away is that people think you're the one losing. They think you're the one giving up, the one giving in. But the truth is, when you walk away, you're the one who walks away with your dignity intact. You're the one who walks away with your power, your peace, your strength. You're the one who stands tall, knowing that you made the right choice for yourself, no matter how much it hurt in the moment. And I'll tell you this, one day, they'll wish they had valued you more. One day, they'll look around and realize that the love, the loyalty, the support you gave them was something they could never find again. And that moment, that realization, it won't come with an apology. It won't come with a grand gesture or an attempt to make things right. It'll come with regret. It'll come with the realization that they lost something real, something irreplaceable, because they didn't appreciate it when they had it. But that's not your problem anymore. You'll have moved on. You'll have built something better, something stronger. You'll have found your peace. And while they're left grappling with the void you left behind, you'll be walking forward, not looking back. Because the truth is, walking away quietly doesn't just change your life, it changes theirs. Now, you have to be prepared for the loneliness that comes with walking away. The loneliness that will make you question if you've made the right choice. The loneliness that will hit when you're used to having someone by your side, when you're used to being there for them, and suddenly, you're not anymore. It's going to feel like a loss, like an emptiness, like you've lost a part of yourself. But trust me, kid, that loneliness is temporary. That emptiness, it's not a void. It's space. Space for something better. The space you make when you walk away. It's the space where your true self can grow. It's the space where you can rediscover who you are, what you want, and what you deserve. It's the space where your peace isn't dependent on anyone else's mood or approval. It's the space where you become the best version of yourself. And when that happens, everything changes. Let me tell you something, kid. Sit down, shut up, and listen. I'm not here to hold your hand or paint some rosy picture of life. I'm here to tell you the truth, raw, unfiltered, and ugly. You know, the truth no one else will tell you because it's easier for them to lie, to make you believe the world is fair, that loyalty exists, that love is forever. Ha, what a joke. Look around you, really look. Everyone's so busy pretending they care, pretending they're there for you, pretending they'll never leave. But the second you fall, the moment you need them the most, their masks drop and their backs turn. They'll promise you the world, whisper sweet lies in your ear, and when it benefits them, they'll walk away without so much as a backward glance. You'll see it happen over and over again, and each time it'll cut deeper. But here's the thing, every scar is a reminder, a lesson burned into your soul. People will show you who they really are when they think you're not looking. So stop looking for their approval. Stop begging for their attention. They're not worth the weight of your thoughts. You want to know the real power move? The one that will make them question every decision they ever made regarding you? Walk away, quietly. No fireworks, no dramatic speeches, no begging or pleading. Just get up, turn around, and leave. Let them sit in the silence you leave behind. Let your absence roar louder than any argument or explanation. Because when you leave quietly, without a single word, they have nothing to use against you. They'll stew in the emptiness you left, replaying every interaction, trying to figure out what went wrong. And you'll already be miles ahead. Don't mistake silence for weakness. Silence is the sharpest blade, the loudest scream, the deepest cut. It's the void where their excuses and justifications fall apart. When you stop giving them your words, your energy, your presence, they're left with nothing but their own empty echoes. That's when the weight of your absence hits them like a freight train. They'll feel it in their gut, their chest, their soul, if they even have one. But don't do it for them. Do it for you. Walking away isn't giving up. It's reclaiming your power. It's choosing yourself over the lies, over the manipulation, over the endless cycle of betrayal. It's standing tall, even when your knees feel like they'll buckle under the weight of everything you've endured. And trust me, you've endured more than anyone knows. But you don't have to carry that weight anymore. Let it go. Leave it with them. Let them deal with the wreckage they caused. You're not their puppet. You're not their safety net. You're not their emotional punching bag. You're a goddamn force of nature, and they'll regret ever underestimating you. But don't waste your breath telling them that. Actions speak louder than words, and absence is deafening. Walk away and let the void you leave behind be their punishment. And no, it won't be easy. Every step will feel like walking on broken glass. Every moment of silence will scream in your ears. But that pain, that's temporary. It's the storm before the calm, the fire that forges you into something stronger, sharper, unstoppable. You'll look back one day and realize that walking away was the moment you set yourself free. They'll talk about you, whisper your name like a ghost that haunts their conscience. They'll wonder where you went, why you left, why they didn't see it coming. But don't give them the satisfaction of an answer. Let their questions linger. Let their guilt fester. You owe them nothing, not an explanation, not a farewell, not a damn thing. The world is full of people who will try to dim your light, who will take and take until there's nothing left. Don't let them. Protect your light. Guard it fiercely. And if they don't appreciate it, if they can't see its worth, walk away. You're not here to save them. Save yourself. Because at the end of the day, kid, the only person who truly has your back is staring at you in the mirror. That person, they deserve everything you've been giving to people who didn't deserve it. They deserve your loyalty, your love, your energy. So give it to them. Choose yourself. When you walk away, do it with your head held high, your heart unburdened, and your soul unchained. Don't look back. Not because you're afraid of what you'll see, but because what's behind you no longer matters. The past is ashes, and you're the phoenix. Rise. Burn brighter than ever before. And when they realize what they lost, when they feel the weight of your absence, let them. Let them drown in the silence you left behind. Let them choke on the regret of not valuing you when they had the chance. But don't wait for their realization. Don't wait for their apology. Keep walking. Keep moving. Keep growing. So, walk away. Quietly, with your head held high. And let your absence speak louder than any words you could ever say. Because the most powerful thing you can do is leave. And when you leave behind the version of you that they thought they could control. You leave behind everything they took for granted. You leave behind the parts of yourself that didn't belong to you anyway. You'll walk away stronger. You'll walk away wiser. You'll walk away with your peace, your power, and your dignity. And when you look back, you'll know you did the right thing. In the end, walking away quietly isn't about proving a point to anyone else. It's about proving something to yourself. It's about reclaiming your peace, your dignity, and your power. It's about showing the world and yourself that you refuse to settle for less than you deserve. Your absence becomes the loudest message you'll ever send, not in anger or bitterness, but in strength and self-respect. Because sometimes, the most profound way to say enough is to say nothing at all. Walk away and let your silence echo.